Financial independence is one of the main reasons people decide to downsize. But what if you had the foresight to go tiny before ever signing a mortgage? Well, in today's video, you're going to meet a young woman who started designing her own tiny home at 19 and now has achieved financial independence at a young age while owning her first home.
Make this house our tiny home.
I'm Haley. We're in Simi Valley, California, and this is my house, The Tiny. I've always loved like small spaces and just having everything I need in one area. Just thinking about all the energy and resources that go into maintaining these large homes is so frustrating for me. I think our generation respects the experience rather than the things in our lives. So you automatically just cut out all the extra stuff that you don't need to worry about, and then you can focus on experiences and what is really important to you. So I designed the house when I was 19 and it cost around $50,000. A lot of people thought it was crazy though. People were like, do you like it? Is it different? Just because it's small doesn't mean it's feels small. I'm renting a piece of land in Simi Valley. I'm parked up on a hill. It was one of the most difficult processes to move it up here because it's a very steep hill and it's very windy, but it's so worth it because the view is insane. I think my favorite part about this house is that it's very me, this is my space, and then I can invite people into it and kind of inspire people. One of my mom's friends started building a tiny house after he saw this, which was really nice. Hey everyone, welcome to The Tiny. Come on in. So this is my living room / guest bedroom area. This right now is set up as a couch, but it comes as a chair. At this point, I just kind of keep it down all the time because when people are over, this is the main place that people kind of initially sit down and hang out. And this is also where I have all my books. So it's my little library area. This is where I read. I also have a projector over there, and so this is where I watch movies and stuff. It's surrounded by windows on all sides, so you're getting light no matter what time of the day it is. You're getting the morning light, the afternoon light, and I also have a really nice view, so sometimes I'll just sit here in the morning and look at the view. I also have a lot of plants. I just love plants. A lot of it is just me really liking an item, and I only bring it in here if I really like it and it really speaks to me. And over here is my ladder to my storage loft, and up there I have my projector, my printer. It's kind of the stuff that I don't want down here. Just kind of stick it up there and try and keep it as organized as possible. Here we have the breakfast nook / extended cooking area / alternate workspace. People are coming over, they'll hang out here, I'll do work here. A lot of the stuff that's hanging here I've actually made. I have a espresso machine because I've always wanted to know how to do latte art. Still working on that. I got that for my friends basically to make them lattes. Here we have the pantry. One of the biggest focuses when making this house was storage and space for cooking. I lucked out because I didn't even think of choosing a sink when I was designing the house, and they just chose a larger sink. Thank God. I'm very grateful that it worked out that way. If you need to soak clothes in here, you could wash a small dog in here. It's just easier to have for cooking, for dishes. Just because it's a small space doesn't mean you have to sacrifice size for everything. This is my oven. It is a little difficult to use and it is not the most accurate, but that's okay because it runs off propane and it does the job, and I'm really glad that I got this because I do have the ability to bake and cook, and I have 4 burners and it's worked like a charm. And I actually recently put in this shelf above the stove just to free up counter space. There's like always ways to like store up in tiny houses, I find, so that you have more space and you don't feel as crowded. One of the things that I've always loved doing is having people over. Lately we've been doing a lot of breakfast, so people come over and I just cook over here, and then we usually go and sit outside. And over here I have all my spices on the side of the fridge, which obviously clears up more space in the pantry, and then it's just super easy to grab it while I'm cooking and put it in whatever I'm making. So I have a pretty large fridge for a tiny house. It's a 3/4 size fridge. It's especially been good now because where I am, it's a bit more removed, so I'm not close to the markets and places that I usually shop for food at. And I like the fact that I have like a decent sized freezer as well, because I make a lot of things in bulk and I just freeze it and I keep it in there. Here is the bathroom. Right here is a shower. It's a pretty small shower, but it does the job. And then here's my sink, and here's my composting toilet. It's a Nature's Head composting toilet. I really like the composting toilet. It works very well. It's very efficient. And then over here I have 3 shelves. I actually just added one recently, and has all my makeup and skin products, and it kind of is like a cool display. I've never felt crowded by it or anything. Usually when I'm getting ready, I just leave the door open and, you know, everything's in arm's reach, which is also kind of nice. These are the stairs that lead up to my bedroom loft, / they are more storage. And I keep things like towels, art supplies, cameras, stuff all in here. The main reason that I wanted these stairs though was for this one. This is Momo, my dog. And I wanted to make sure that he could go up and down from the loft without any hassle, like me carrying him up and down a ladder was just not that appealing. So these stairs are really for him. This is the loft. This is where I have all of my clothes stored up here. I always use the 3x3 rule, which is if I haven't used it in 3 months and I won't use it in 3 months, I try and get rid of it. The most important thing that I'm like really glad that I did is this skylight. Right now it's covered up just so that it's not super bright in the morning, but it opens up about 1.5 feet, I'd say, which is a godsend for when it's summer, because then all the heat that builds up here can just go right out there. It's nice to just kind of have like a kind of cozy space. A lot of people call it like a cave. I've actually moved the layout of this area around like 2 or 3 times now, and I like to be able to move things around, so just having these temporary shelves has worked out for me so I can move things around. So overall, tiny living really just gives you the ability to really customize your space in the way that you want. Just because there's not a lot of space to customize, you have the ability, I'd say financially, to do it, but it still like really reflects on who you are and, you know, the space that you want to have and that you're able to create. Here I have my water in and my water out. And this is where I keep my propane tank, which also connects to this little area right over here. And here's a 55-gallon water tank that I always keep full in case of emergency, earthquakes, wildfires. I also have a 40-gallon holding tank in the house, which is hooked up to a battery-operated pump. If I do lose power, I can still have water coming into the house. What everyone says and what I agree with when you live tiny is making your outside space also enjoyable, because you kind of have to coexist between inside and outside because there isn't that much space inside. I have my little setup out here, and I also have my potted plants / garden. Plants are something that I've always loved, so I love coming out here and just taking care of the plants. It like calms me down, centers me. I don't think a space is my space until I've filled it with plants. I'm excited to see like where this takes me in the future, because I think it is setting me up for, you know, more financial independence, and I have like the ability to not be in this constant state of anxiety because I have this, so I'm good.
If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click on that bell so that you get a notification every time I post a new video.